論中止待續，議案所屬嘅事宜交付調查委員會處理。第二項議案，毛孟靜議員就譴責何君堯議員而動議嘅議案。我請毛孟靜議員發言及動議議案。
All right. That this Council, in accordance with Article 79(7) of the Basic Law, censures Dr. Honourable Junius Ho for misbehaviour. Now, this misbehaviour is contained in the schedule, and it's quite a detailed account. I don't need to read out every word. Am I correct? I don't have to. Okay, now, what we are talking about is at the meeting of the House Committee in the middle of October, this Dr. Honourable Junius Ho, in response to a statement I made, he said something like, those who habitually eat foreign sausages. Now, that sort of line, obviously, was ruled by the person who was presiding over that meeting, Mr. Dennis Kwok, to be sexually and racially harassing. It's obvious. And at the time, I clearly remembered Mr. Kwok asked this Mr. Ho to either withdraw or apologize or something, but Mr. Ho just walked out on his own. Now, in Hong Kong, we do have some racial and sexual bias laws. Under the Sex Discrimination Ordinance, you would expect a reasonable person, considering all the circumstances of a particular incident taking place, would assume that a racially different person, a woman, or a gender different type of person would get offended, would get insulted, would get intimidated. We're talking about reasonableness, always. Now, this the Junius Ho person, as a member of LegCo, has quite so obviously violated both ordinances, the two ordinances protecting sexual and racial rights. And he made this remark towards female members of the Legislative Council. Please note the plural, and made them feel offended and insulted. And this, well, according to the records, subsequently, this Junius Ho still argued that his remark carried no implication whatsoever of sex discrimination or offending women. Now, this reflected the sheer defiance, this person's sheer defiance of the rule of law, wanton abetment of sexual and racial harassment, and lack of remorse. It's a total lack of remorse for his conduct, and he's lied blatantly through his teeth. He has lied his face off. Now, I'm not going to take long, and I'm not going to speak for a solid 15 minutes. It's clear to any reasonable person that this Junius Ho's remark has completely violated the integrity and conduct expected of a member of this legislature. And he has seriously jeopardized the public's confidence in LegCo. Now, of course, I understand Mr. Ho has also suffered fairly gravely as a result of his babbling, but racial and racist and sexist remark at this legislature, to the point that his alma mater, some university in the UK, Anglia Ruskin University, has decided to strip his doctorate degree. That's a huge price to pay for one big, more than faux pas at the said legislative meeting. If only this person, Mr. Ho, would just say, oh, well, sorry, that's a slip of the tongue, and I didn't really mean anything, and if anyone gets offended, I do apologize. Things like that. This would have gone away, but no. He argued in this most cheeky and blatantly unremorseful manner. So this person, Junius Ho, has to be censured. Thank you.
現在嘅待議議題係毛孟靜議員嘅議案，予以通過。按照議事規則第 49B 條，辯論中止待續，議案所屬嘅事宜交付調查委員會處理。第三項議案，容海恩議員就譴